Hey everybody, it's Gypsy Soul. I'm coming on to make a video, like I promised, to talk a little bit about my house and the spirits that are in it. But first, I want to show y'all what my daughter got me for my birthday. Meet Possum. Yes, her name is Possum because she's fuzzy and she plays dead. Just like falls over when she doesn't want to do something and like acts like she's dead and she precious. Oh, she's so fuzzy. I can't stand it. Okay, let's get on to what this is about. I have to make this kind of fast because it is freaking hot out here and I got some sinus stuff going on and the heat doesn't help it. And anyway, I hate this weather. I hate it. I love the fall. It's my favorite time of the year. I love it, love it, love it. But I want fall cool, not. I hate it. This hot, dry shit is for the birds. I don't even think it's for the birds. It's for like yuck. So anyway, okay. My house was built way back in the early 1950s, and it was built by a husband and a wife, and it's on like 6 acres, right at 6 acres, like 5 point something, but it's like 6 acres of land. And in the 1970s, the husband had a heart attack suddenly, and they found him dead in the kitchen of this house. So, oops, you okay? So the husband passed away in the house. Then I'm not sure. It was like, I want to say probably around the year 2000. The wife, the widow, had decided that she was going to a nearby town, which is probably around 30, 35 or so miles from here, not far. And she, it's kind of weird because it was actually my uncle, my dad's brother, that was following her, or crossing her or whatever. Anyway, I don't remember, but anyway, he actually saw her veer and go into the ditch, and he went to go check on her. It was in the daytime, and she had unfortunately had a heart attack while she was driving and had passed away. Oh, sorry. So the family, which one of her daughters actually lives right across the road from me, had decided that they didn't, none of them needed a place to live, didn't want to deal with it. So I'm assuming that. And they decided to put the house up for sale. It was sold to a single mom who totally destroyed the house. It's a small house. It was like barely 1,000 square foot, single story brick home, and she just destroyed it. Never paid one single note on the house. And so the bank foreclosed on it, and we bought the house. We brought our camper here and parked it, and for 9 long months lived in the camper on the property while we had a contractor come in, and we basically tore the house down. I think there was 3 outside walls left standing. We raised it and rebuilt. And we did, let me rephrase that. I did a lot of the work myself. I laid the ceramic tile, did all the staining, the painting, um, sanding, all that kind of stuff. Uh, but um, when we moved into the house, the first thing was my son, who was, he was probably, I'm going to say about 8 at the time. He refused to stay in his bedroom. He would say that he would see faces coming out of the wall. And I would tell him, it's okay, stay, I'm thinking, it's just, little kids in a new place not wanting to stay there. But he refused. He would cry. He would literally not stay in the room. So he would stay on the couch in the living room. My oldest daughter, this went on and on and on. And the way our house is built, our living room, it has open ceilings. Like we have a loft. It's a story and a half. So the stairs go up and you can see from the living room, you can see up into the loft. And it was built for like a game room. That's how we did it. So we have a pool table up there. Well, my oldest daughter decided she was going to move her bed up there and make that her bedroom. She would not stay up there. She would tell me that she just didn't like it up there. Just didn't like it. And I was like, why do you not like it? You have all that room to yourself, because it is, I think that upstairs space is like 500 square foot. It's like a good size, space up there. She's like, no, I don't know what it is. I don't like it. So she literally, like, all her stuff would be up there, but she would either stay on the couch or their other bedroom that my youngest would stay in, she would stay in there with her. And we were probably in the house when I started noticing it, we were in the house. My husband was working off at the time, so it would be me and the 3 kids here. And I always had problems sleeping at night, so a lot of times I would be up the majority of the night, sitting on the couch, making jewelry, or trying to keep my hands busy watching TV, whatever. And I started, the way the couch was, the loft is above, like the entertainment center's here, and then above that is open, like you can see the railing that goes across for the loft. And one night, we had just got my son to start sleeping probably 80% of the time in his room. So I'm in the living room and I'm watching the TV, and it was very, very late at night, and I could hear, we had a small table with a, small, what do you call it, a bistro table, kind of, that had like 4 wooden chairs, and it was upstairs. And I could hear those chairs moving, like if somebody took the chair and slid it out to get in it, or slid it out to get out of it. And I would sit there and I'm like, I'm so tired that I'm making this up in my head. And then I started thinking that, I wouldn't hear anything for a while, and then I would hear the noise again. And then this next time that I heard it, it sounded like somebody walking upstairs and then bumping into the chair and the chair moving on the floor, because the floor is wooden upstairs, and that's why it was a distinct noise that I could hear upstairs. So I literally got spooked to where I was convinced there was somebody upstairs. I thought about it and I thought about it, and I could feel somebody watching me. And it was the glare from the TV. I didn't have lamps on by the couch. It was just literally the glare of the TV. And I started thinking, they can see me from up there because it was pitch black up there, but I can't see them. And I'm telling you, I could feel somebody looking at me from upstairs. And I was convinced there was somebody up there. So, being a country girl, living out in the country, I have a 22, so a rifle. So I get up and I go in the bedroom and act like I thought, well, okay, if they're up there, I don't want them to realize that I know they're up there. So I, calmly, acted like nothing was wrong, boo, 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 boo. Set my stuff aside, and the gun cabinet was in the bedroom. And so I get up and I, get up and I walk, dilly-dally, make noise like I normally would. Didn't want to, set off any alarms with them. And I go in the bedroom, I open up the cabinet real quietly, and I get the gun out, and I come out, and I'm like staying to where they couldn't see me, like the loft was up here, so I stayed against this wall and kind of edged my way down. And when I got to the bottom of the stairs, there's only one way in or out, is up those flipping stairs. And when I got to the bottom of those stairs, I said, I have a gun, and I'm getting ready to come upstairs. It is loaded, and I will shoot your ass. I waited at the bottom of the stairs. I didn't hear anything. And so I'm like, okay. So I repeated, I have a gun. I know you're up there. If you show yourself now and come on, you can leave. Everything will be fine. Nothing. Then I hear the noise again. And I'm like, fuck this. What am my kids are here. What am I going to do? So I go upstairs, and I'm telling y'all, my heart was pounding out my freaking chest. I climb the stairs, I get to the landing, and I turn, and the landing was the hardest part because when I got to the landing, I thought, there's a light switch there that you can flip on, and it cuts the lights on upstairs. So when I got to the landing and I reached to turn the light switch on, I thought, okay, I'm going to flip this fucker on, and from that point on, there's no going back. I just remember thinking that, okay, there's no, once this point for some reason was like, there was no going back from that point. I flipped the light switch on, and there's two, there's not, like, when you flip that light switch on, like, there's two big ceiling fan lights up there, so, like, there was no, like, hiding. Once that came on, that was it. So I go up there, nothing. Chairs are sitting under the table. They were not scoot back. They were, like, under the table where they're supposed to be. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I know you're up here. Show yourself. I know you're up here. Nothing. Then I thought, they're under the bed. That's where they're at. They're under the bed. So, I know, like, I was trying to act a badass, but I was shitting in my pants. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I was shitting in my pants. And, so I walk over to the bed, and I'm like, I know you're under the bed. There's, you need to come out, and you need to leave. In the story, get out of my house. Nothing. I back away from the bed, and I'm like taking the end of the gun and poking it under the bed to lift up the covers. There's freaking nothing upstairs. Nothing upstairs. So, needless to say, that night, I did not sleep. I sat on the couch the rest of the night watching because I figured even if they had figured out some way to hide from me, they still had to come down at some point or another. That was the night that I realized that something was going on. Well, one of two things. Something was going on in the house, or I was fucking losing my mind. So I'm going to end this video here, and I'm probably going to make another one right after this one to go a little bit further into this. But let's see. I'll see y'all in a bit.